Today is hard, tomorrow will be worse, but the day after tomorrow will be sunshine. The moments that shape who we are rarely happen when life is smooth and easy. They happen when we are tested, when the weight feels too heavy, and when we're forced to dig deeper than we ever thought possible. Comfort doesn't build resilience, struggle does. It's in the late nights of doubt, the setbacks that sting, and the failures that seem final where our character is formed. These are the times that teach us strength, patience, and grit. And while they may not feel like victories in the moment, they become the foundation for every success that follows. Because in the end, it's not the easy days that define us, but the battles we refuse to surrender. Too often, when something feels hard, we convince ourselves it must be impossible. We look at the obstacles, the delays, the rejections, and we start to believe they are signs that it can't be done. But difficulty is not a dead end. It's a signal that what you're working toward is valuable and worth pursuing. Anything meaningful in life requires effort, sacrifice, and persistence. The road will never be smooth, and if it were, the reward wouldn't carry the same weight. Hard does not mean impossible. It means you're being stretched, challenged, and prepared for something greater. And the moment you stop equating struggle with failure, you'll discover the strength to keep moving forward. Every obstacle we face is not just a problem to endure, but an opportunity to grow. Challenges are like weights in a gym. The more resistance you face, the stronger you become if you choose to push through. Too often, we see difficulties as barriers designed to stop us, when in reality they are teachers, shaping our character, sharpening our focus, and preparing us for the next stage of the journey. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens when we are stretched, when we stumble, and when we rise again. The very struggles you wish would disappear are often the ones building the strength you'll need tomorrow. That's why every challenge is really an invitation to become stronger. Success doesn't always belong to the people with the most talent, the highest intelligence, or the greatest resources. More often, it belongs to the ones who simply refuse to stop. Persistence is the great equalizer. It allows ordinary people to achieve extraordinary results because they keep moving forward when others decide to quit. Talent may give you a head start, but perseverance is what carries you across the finish line. The truth is, consistency beats brilliance when brilliance gives up. It's the willingness to keep showing up, to keep trying, and to keep believing that makes the difference. In the end, the people who succeed aren't always the most gifted. They're the ones who never gave up. Persistence is what connects the dream to the outcome. It's the bridge that carries us from where we are to where we want to be. Too often, people imagine success as a giant leap, a single moment that changes everything. But in reality, it's a series of steady, consistent steps taken over time. Even when progress feels invisible, persistence ensures you're moving forward. Every effort compounds, every try builds momentum, and together they create the breakthrough you've been waiting for. Without persistence, even the greatest vision remains only a wish. But with it, no dream is out of reach. That bridge will always carry you closer, if you have the courage to keep walking across it. We often underestimate the power of small steps. We think progress has to be dramatic to matter, but the truth is, every little action builds upon the last. Each day you choose to keep moving. Even if it's just an inch forward, you're closer to the life you want. Success is rarely about giant leaps. It's about the quiet discipline of showing up again and again, no matter how slow it feels. Over time, those small steps compound into massive change. What once looked impossible becomes achievable because you refuse to stop. Progress isn't always loud or visible, but it's always happening. And sometimes, the smallest step forward is the one that changes everything. It's often in the moments when we feel the most exhausted, the most defeated, that we are actually closest to a breakthrough. Life has a way of testing our resolve, asking us if we're truly committed or if we're willing to walk away just before the reward arrives. Many people stop too soon, not realizing how close they were to crossing the finish line. But those who push past that final stretch of resistance discover something remarkable. That success was waiting just on the other side of struggle. The key is not to give in when it feels unbearable, because often, the moment you think you can't go any further is the moment everything begins to change. The gap between failure and success is often just one more attempt. Most people give up after repeated setbacks, assuming the outcome is already decided. But the truth is, success isn't always about brilliance or luck. It's about resilience, the willingness to rise and try again. Each attempt carries the possibility of being the one that works, and you never know which effort will tip the scales in your favor. Quitting guarantees the end of the journey, but trying again keeps the door open for possibility. Sometimes the difference between staying stuck and breaking through isn't a grand gesture. It's simply deciding to give it one more try. And that single decision can change everything. In the end, never give up is not just a phrase, it's a way of living. It's the belief that no obstacle is final, no setback is permanent, and no failure defines who you are. Life will test you, it will push you, and it will ask you to prove how badly you want what you say you want. And in those moments, the choice is simple: stop and settle, or keep moving and grow. The path may be long, but every step forward builds strength, builds resilience, and brings you closer to your purpose. So when the urge to quit whispers in your ear, remind yourself, success belongs to those who refuse to give up.